heart of Sundown lived the Watsons, a humble family of 4. John, the father, was a man of the soil, a farmer, while Sarah, the mother, was the village's beloved school teacher. They had 2 children, Emily and Sam, twins born on the eve of a blood moon. The children were inseparable. Sam, a playful boy, relished in the wilderness, while Emily, more delicate, took delight in her mother's tales. Their favorite was the legend of the Forgotten Woods. A dense, forbidden forest, it was said to house an ancient entity, a guardian spirit that protected Sundown from calamities. As long as the village respected its domain, peace would remain. On a particularly gloomy evening, as the twins celebrated their 10th birthday, Sam dared Emily to explore the forbidden woods. Emily, always wanting to prove her bravery, agreed, and with a nervous heart, they ventured into the heart of the unknown. The forbidden woods were thicker than they'd imagined, the sounds eerie and the darkness imposing. They pushed on, guided by the thrill of adventure and the folly of their innocence. They discovered an old, dilapidated shack. An unexplained curiosity drew them towards it. With creaking doors that seemed to whisper unwelcome, they stepped inside. It was empty, save for a strange stone statue placed in the center, an abstract form with unsettling, hollow eyes. The twins felt an odd pull towards it. Emily extended her hand to touch it, and in an instant, a chilling gust of wind blew, extinguishing their lanterns. Emily screamed, and they bolted from the shack, leaving behind the menacing statue in the dark. From that day forward, things started to change in Sundown. Residents began reporting strange phenomena, flickering lights, inexplicable noises, and worst of all, terrifying nightmares. John and Sarah, too, experienced these frightful occurrences. But it was Emily and Sam who bore the brunt. The twins would wake up in the middle of the night, sweating and crying, muttering about a dark figure that haunted their dreams. Emily's health began to decline. She grew frail, her once vibrant eyes now dull with a constant fear. Sam, feeling guilty about their escapade, confessed to their parents about their visit to the forbidden woods. The village council, upon hearing this, decided to seek help from an elderly woman known as Old Agnes. Living in seclusion, she was revered and feared in equal parts for her knowledge of the supernatural. Old Agnes listened to the villagers, her eyes filled with a curious mix of dread and resolve. She agreed to help, warning them that the path to resolution was fraught with peril. She confirmed their worst fears: the twins had awakened the guardian spirit, and it sought vengeance. Agnes, John, and Sarah, with Sam and a weak Emily, journeyed to the forbidden woods. The air was heavy with anticipation and the forest more menacing than ever. They reached the old shack and found the statue as the twins had described. With a series of arcane rituals, Agnes attempted to appease the entity. As hours passed, the shack shook violently, and the statue glowed a fiery red. Agnes, her voice resonating with an otherworldly power, chanted incantations that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality. Suddenly, the shack fell silent, the statue returned to its inert state, and Emily collapsed. John rushed to Emily, cradling her lifeless body in his arms. Tears welled in his eyes as he pleaded with Agnes. Emily's body twitched and, in a faint whisper, she uttered, "It's inside Sam." Sam stood eerily calm, his eyes glazed over. A sinister smile spread across his face, his voice dropping to an unfamiliar, bone-chilling tone. "You have no idea what you have done." The tension was thick as Sam, possessed by the guardian spirit, declared war on Sundown. The quiet village was no longer a place of serenity but the stage for an unimaginable horror. The villagers had no idea what was to come, their fate now intertwined with the wrath of a vengeful spirit. The narrative was far from over, the horrors just beginning to unfold. The once gentle Sam was transformed. His voice echoed with an ancient resonance, his eyes flickered with a supernatural energy, and his stance was eerily calm in the face of the distraught crowd. Agnes, shaken but determined, continued her incantations, aiming to contain the spirit within the confines of the shack. As the situation escalated, the villagers, those scared, unified under the shadow of the looming disaster. A night vigil was held at the town square. Prayers echoed through the once tranquil alleys of Sundown, as the battle between Agnes and the vengeful spirit wore on. Sarah, unable to bear the sight of her son in torment, defied Agnes's warnings and ran towards Sam. In an instant, a powerful force knocked her back. John rushed to his wife's side, a pained look in his eyes as he realized the extent of their predicament. Days turned into weeks. The village was plunged into an eternal twilight, the sun obscured by dark, brooding clouds. Sarah, despite her injuries, held prayer meetings, instilling hope and unity among the villagers. John, bearing the guilt of his children's actions, worked tirelessly, providing for the village in these hard times. Agnes, worn and weary, could barely sustain the containment spell. One fateful night, the spirit in Sam retaliated with a powerful outburst, shattering the shack and sending Agnes flying. With the guardian spirit unleashed, the village succumbed to a chilling winter. The once fertile soil turned barren, streams froze, and an eerie silence claimed Sundown. Yet, amidst the chaos, Sarah stood firm, a beacon of hope for the villagers. Emily, who had been unconscious since the ritual, stirred awake. Frail and scared, she insisted on seeing Sam. As she approached her brother, held in a makeshift cage at the village square, she recalled their shared memories, their childhood laughter, their secret languages, and it fueled her determination. Braving the chilling cold, she approached Sam, his eyes now a hollow black, his face void of any emotion. Emily, with tears streaming down her face, held onto the cage, her voice barely a whisper. "I know you were in there, Sam." Suddenly, the possessed Sam convulsed, and for a moment, the familiar warmth returned to his eyes. Emily, seeing this, came up with a desperate plan. Emily, with the help of the villagers, decided to recreate their birthday, the day they had ventured into the forbidden woods. She believed it could jolt Sam's memories, helping him regain control. Sarah, though skeptical, supported Emily. Together, they gathered the villagers, decorated the square, baked the twins' favorite cake, and even mimicked the gloomy weather with gray decorations. As the recreated evening set in, Emily, dressed in the same clothes she wore that fateful day, approached Sam. The villagers watched with bated breath as she started narrating the legend of the Forgotten Woods, their mother's voice echoing through the silent square. Sam's eyes flickered, the haunting black momentarily giving way to their original green. Emily, seeing this, pressed on, her voice shaky yet determined. She narrated their adventure, their fear, their finding of the shack, and finally, their encounter with the statue. As she reached the climax of the story, a sharp wind blew across the square, snuffing out the lanterns. In the sudden darkness, the villagers gasped, their hearts filled with dread. But then, they heard a familiar voice, "Emily, I am scared." The lanterns flickered back to life, revealing Sam, tears streaming down his face, his voice back to normal. He seemed to have fought back, at least momentarily. Agnes, witnessing this, seized the opportunity. With renewed energy, she started her incantations. The villagers joined her, their voices echoing in unison. The spirit in Sam writhed, his form flickering between the possessed and the normal. Emily, holding onto Sam's hand through the cage, pleaded with him to fight. As Agnes's voice reached a crescendo, Sam let out a blood-curdling scream. A blast of energy erupted, throwing everyone back. As the dust settled, the villagers found Sam unconscious in the cage, Emily lying nearby, and the eternal twilight was replaced with a hopeful dawn. Life in Sundown slowly returned to normal. The soil regained its fertility, the streams flowed freely, and the menacing silence was replaced with the familiar sounds of a bustling village. Emily recovered and, in time, so did Sam. He remembered nothing of his possession, but was remorseful for their ill-thought adventure. The twins grew closer after the incident, their bond strengthening through the ordeal. The village of Sundown, once known for its tranquility, was now a symbol of unity and resilience. The villagers, instead of forgetting, embraced their past, the story becoming a cautionary tale told to the generations that followed. And as for the Forbidden Woods, they remained a constant reminder of the village's history. But no one ventured into them, the Forgotten Woods truly becoming forgotten, the secret they held lying dormant, waiting for another unsuspecting soul. Thus, the tale of Sundown, a serene village that survived a chilling horror, ends a testament to hope, resilience, and the power of unity in the face of unimaginable terror.